I guess thanks, Dennis, for telling me that. I appreciate you. All the way from China, the brother. Pray for you frequently. I know you're making an impact over there with people just by your very presence of who you are. So let me start this conversation over. I get asked all the time, Bob, how can you say I love you to strangers on social media or people that you've never even met? And I believe that the idea is that I can say I love you because I do. I genuinely love humankind. I love people. Now, I might not like something that they've said or done or anything, but it doesn't prevent me from loving them. And so I think a lot of times it comes up as, it's romantic or it's a manipulation or whatever people want to say about it. And here's the truth. It can be both of those. It can be all of the above, what you interpret the term I love you to mean. What it means to me is the way I was raised. I was raised by a single mom who said I love you all of the time, not some of the time, not just when she felt like it, not just when somebody did something nice for her, but she said it all the time. And guess what? She meant it. I've told this story before, but one of the greatest memories I have of my mom is she was managing an apartment building when I was probably in about, I don't know, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, somewhere in there. And I remember that she was managing this apartment building, and she had to evict this family, husband and wife, and I think it was like 2 kids or something. And she had to evict them because they hadn't paid rent for a long period of time. And she kept, extending, and came down to where, the end of the rope. She just had to. And so I remember us all standing out in the drive of the apartment building, the entrance. I remember us all standing there, and I remember this family who my mom has served eviction papers and is evicting her from their apartment. And I remember them and my mom all crying. And I remember them hugging each other and them thanking my mom for being so patient and, sorry they couldn't get it corrected and all of that. And I thought, man, what kind of person is evicting people and the people are crying and hugging them and saying thank you. That was just my mom. My mom just loved people and people loved her. She was amazing that way. And so when I see the words I love you or love you from people, and let me ask you this, is there a difference to you when somebody says I love you versus love you? Is there a difference? I did this questionnaire on Facebook, I don't know, 6 or 8 months ago. Do you feel different when somebody says I love you versus love you? And it was interesting to see the responses. Very interesting. And Dennis, who's in China, says, in China, parents don't often say I love you like in the US. I say it as much as possible to my university students. To my university students, I think it is essential for their self-confidence. I've seen lives change over my 5 years here. Wow. Thank you, brother. One, thank you for sharing. More importantly, thank you for doing that. I believe you're 100% correct. That's got to be an interesting experience for them to have somebody say I love you, and it's got to be an interesting experience for you to see the transformation of them over the time. And thank you for doing that for so many years, for 5 years, and try to thank you. I appreciate you, brother. I'm grateful for our friendship over the years, and I'm thankful for the influence that you have in this world. That's just one of the ways that you've influenced people. I've seen you do it for years, here in the States and now also in China. So thank you so much for doing, but more importantly, thank you for being who you are today in this world. So guys, this I love you thing. I think there's just so many people that are so conflicted by the term I love you. They're not sure what to do with that. And I'm always amazed at that, because I think, does it have to be one or the other? Does it have to be a bad thing? And I'm a big believer that no, it absolutely does not. It doesn't have to be one thing or the other. It can be inclusive or it can be exclusive. And so that's kind of my take on that. Maybe in some way or another, people have it convoluted because of things that have happened to them in the past, things that some way that they heard it or they didn't hear it. I think that's true a lot too, that a lot of times they didn't hear it. So I'm just kind of thinking this out loud. There was no real set agenda about this, but I want to personally say that I love you. I want to personally say I love you. I'm thankful for you. And I believe that your best days are ahead of you. And I believe that the impact you're going to make in the world has yet to be seen. And I believe that that we are created in such a way that we need love, we want love, we desire love, but more than anything else, we are love. And it's that time that we decide to stand up and be love for others. Look, I don't know why I jumped on and started with this topic today, except for this. I believe that there might be somebody out there that you and I are rubbing elbows with, that we're walking past in the grocery store, or we're driving past in the traffic and the people being frustrated on the road. I believe that there are people that are in our very midst, that are very close to us in proximity, that need to hear these words, I love you. Randy Stonehill wrote a song and he said, we are his hands, we are his feet. And what a powerful statement. I am truly struck by those lyrics, because we're the ones that change the world. We're the ones that influence the others. We're the ones that can shed light in darkness. We're the ones that can spread love instead of hate. We're the ones that can build up rather than tear down. And I want to be that person. And it's been my mission to be that person. And there's sometimes, guys, hey, look, those of you who know me, right? Those of you who have spent time around me and have known me over my years, there have been times when I have failed miserably at that. I have a saying I say all the time: I'm so flawed that I'm perfectly flawed. There are times when I have let people down, when I have hurt people, when I have not done the right thing, when I have not said the right thing, when I have not been caring enough, loving enough, patient enough. And yet my heart screams at the very top of its lungs, not the next time, not now. See, I believe that if you knew me 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years ago, last week, I'm different today than I was then. And I can say that with all certainty because I continually monitor and continually challenge and push myself to become a better version of myself from the day before. So I know that I'm not the same person that you met a year ago, 5 years ago, or that I grew up with. But I also know that we are all in a place that we can influence and impact one another. Dennis says, it's easier to say I love you to others if you can comfortably say it to yourself first. Ooh. Amen, brother. You guys, don't follow Dennis Nurmela. He's an amazing guy. I've gotten to know him probably in the last 20 years, 15 years. Super, super good guy. And right now he's teaching students over in China. And he's from here in the U.S. Just an amazing heart on that guy. Follow him if you're following him. If you're seeing him here on the Facebook, follow him. I'm seeing some people I don't know, so that's a good thing. But because I don't know you and I don't know your name, I don't know how to say your name. Kaka, and Burmo Purba. Welcome. Just because I don't know you does not mean that I can't love you. And maybe you are, maybe you're one of those people that I'm talking about right now. Maybe you're one of those people that you're thinking, who loves me anymore? Maybe you're one of those people that's thinking, when was the last time I heard I love you? You know, I've worked with people in prison, and one of the other things that I'm really wanting to talk about and help is prison reform. I think that we've done a terrible job with our prisons, for the most part. I think there's some that are doing well, but I think you know, I remember I was going to visit someone in prison one day. I've done a lot of visits to people in prison, and I remember a friend of mine saying, "You know, do you realize that this person, this may be the first time that they've had somebody who loves them look them square in the eye, even through glass, and say, I love you." Do you know that this may be the first time in the last 6 months, the last 12 months, the last 10 years? And we have that opportunity. It's like blown away. It's not just the people that we've forgotten about. It can be like Dennis said, it can be ourselves. When was the last time that you said, I love you to yourself and meant it? Like looked in the mirror and said, I love you. Flaws and all. I love you. Maybe it was something that we said to somebody that we went, I could have said that better. I could have done that better. I could have been better. Fair enough. Probably could have. Not what we did, it's what will we do next? What will we do right now in this moment? Who's somebody that you have said, I love you to? Here's my question. Who's somebody that you've said, I love you to, that you've never maybe met in person? Who's somebody you said, I love you to, that's not family? Who's somebody that you've said, I love you to, looked them square in the eye when you were saying it, not I love you, but I love you, that wasn't a family member, that wasn't one of your inner circle people, not somebody that you've grown up with? Here's the question. Here's the thing that Dennis is talking about. Were you present enough when you said that to see the countenance on their face, the emotions in their eyes? Were you present enough to examine how it affected them? The reason I ask this is because there's been times that I have and there's been times that I haven't. But I can tell you this, the times that I have, I wouldn't trade those for anything. Because the times that I have always amazed me. They've been those moments that have taken my breath away. They've been those moments that caused me to pause. When was the last time you said I love you to somebody in such a way that when you were present to watch their response, to feel their response, to hear their response, not the response of I love you too, or as the movie says, ditto. Guys, every time I've done it, every time I've stopped, every time I've sat still, every time I've been present, every time I've listened to their voice, every time I've leaned in to them, I've been blown away. You know, I invite you to go watch my TED Talk, in which I talked about connecting with people in that way, in that manner, with that depth. I'll post it in the comment, afterwards. But I just invite you to watch it. Guys, I believe that people are craving connection more than any drug or anything else in the world. People are craving connection. They're craving the ability to look into the eyes of another person and feel like they see them and that they've been seen. I start off that talk on TED Talk, and it's a little bit muffled, so it's a little quiet, so you might have to turn up your volume at the beginning. But in the beginning of it, I look around the audience and I say, I see you. I see you. And I see you. So let me say this to you now. I see you. Yes, you. I see you. And I love you. And I'm thankful that we're sharing this time on this earth together so that if nothing else, I can help you feel seen and heard and known that people love you. I love you.